Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Shanur, and I just wanted to kind of chime in on the discussion regarding the pandemic and the whole debate about information on both sides, right? This thing is there was a hashtag recently that went that became viral for a little bit before it was before it disappeared. Plandemic, right? Plandemic, and that I think describes the situation. And this pandemic was indeed planned, right? This was a planned pandemic, and the information to support that is available to anyone with eyes to see and access to Google, and with a bit of free time, you can have access to this. You can see it, and you can see how all the pieces put together dismantle or actually destroy the narrative that's being given to everyone. This thing is happening so fast. Like the news, it's escalating so fast, and it boggles my mind that because we as Muslims have been at the forefront of and at the receiving end of so many campaigns that we still haven't learned. Like why is it that we haven't learned? All right, and it takes other people looking on from the outside in who can see it. All right, subhanAllah. So indeed, the same practices, the same fear-mongering and scare tactics are being pumped out to make us acquiesce to quick decisions. And because when a person is in a fearful state, they immediately look for authority. They immediately look for a way out. They look for relief. And then this is obviously planned. So the powers that be, the establishment, the government, they give us the way out, and we immediately jump on top of it, right? And this is the narrative. This is the mainstream narrative that a virus has broken out, and within a couple of months, this pandemic is spreading all over the world, and the extreme measures have to be taken, and freedoms have to be curtailed, and XYZ until we come to a very bad place at the end of it, right? My brothers. We need to understand that this pandemic is a front for it's a front for an agenda. The agenda includes the destruction of faith, right? The agenda includes depopulation. We're talking about the actual killing of masses of people, which has been happening. Examples of this can be found in Africa, but now that those trials have come and gone, it's fit for purpose now. We're for us Muslims living cushy lives in the West. But these things are not fairy tales. They exist. They're true. Subhanallah, is the war on terror? Do we call it conspiracy? That the war on terror is a front for for introducing draconian laws and for limiting our freedoms and for systematically destroying the Muslim world? Is that a conspiracy? Of course not. The education system being designed as a tool to destroy the beliefs and moralities of children and prepare them to become slaves to the state. Is that a conspiracy? No, that's not a conspiracy, right? That's not. This is not shadowy fairy tales. The sexual revolution, the emancipation of women, the feminism movement, being a front to destroy morality and the nucleus of society, to destroy the family. Is that a conspiracy? No, it isn't. None of these things are conspiracy. No one can disagree. And one of the reasons is because so much material already exists. It's out there for us to see. And these are things found in journals. These are things found in periodicals. These are things found in scientific research that not everyone not just have access to, but will want to read this. Who wants to read through reams and hours of research? No one wants to do that. But it's easy to latch onto a slogan and then images and headlines and khalas, that's it. You've made up your mind about something, right? It's been said that because of this pandemic and because of Muslims not giving in to the state and not doing what they should, that the blood of innocents might be on their hands because they allowed them to be in contained environments in the masjid. But what about the opposite? What about the fact that the agenda to introduce viruses into the population and to destroy subsequent generations through this pandemic, and the fact that we didn't fight against it? Wouldn't that equally be on the hands of those who resisted, and those who didn't want to practice and exercise their Allah-given right, their God-given right to have a bit of common sense and to have a little bit of defiance, right? The backbone of change in a society was on the backs of people who went against the status quo, the ones who fought, not this sloganized, propagandized, like watered down fighting of, we must fight, these just slogans, but fight against what? Fight against the common enemies, right? These purposefully propped up enemies that we can just conveniently everyone can unite against. No, of course not. There is an agenda against faith. There is an agenda against Islam. There is an agenda against the truth. And we have come to those times when the truth has become like falsehood and falsehood has become like truth. When the lowest denomination of society, when the scumbags and liars have become the people of authority. And subhanAllah, this is for anyone, for everyone to see. So, my dear respected brothers, and this is not to disparage anyone, this is not to discredit, or this is not to disrespect anyone. I don't wish to cause any harm or offense to anyone, right? But things need to be said. Wake up, learn. The information is there for anyone to see. This is part of the Dajjalic world order, right? Muslims are dying, have died in great numbers, right? Don't be afraid of a little bit of pushback. Don't be afraid of a little bit of harshness coming towards you. When you are the ones campaigning for Uyghur Muslims, you're the one campaigning for the Rohingya, you're the ones who are campaigning for the Palestinians. But then when it's you, when it's fighting against the lies that are threatening your comfort, then where are you? You're nowhere. So, subhanAllah, we need to grow a backbone, right? I'm not saying that the fears against a viral outbreak do not exist. I don't think this pandemic is real in the sense that it's been sensationalized. But I do think that a viral outbreak can be introduced, has been introduced. Biological warfare is something that is just a fact of life. They will do this. They will put this into a community, right? But let's not forget the long term when faced with these short term fears. The long term means depopulation. The long term means destroying faith. The long term means destroying Muslim communities, Christian communities. The long term means introducing these absolutely horrifying biological and technological weapons into our society that will completely destroy us, right? As a community, there are practicing families now who do not care about their children. They do not care that their children are becoming kafir. They don't care. So, my dear respected brothers, this is a very complex issue, and to actually to understand this requires time. It requires effort. It requires sacrifice. Not everyone's willing to do that. Yeah. So just understand that on the other side of the fence there is truth. There is a legitimate argument being had, and it warrants your time. Lest you be regretful over committing harm against the people without knowing it. أقول قولي هذا أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.